You are Shyam, a mercenary captain and counsellor, 40 years old. After the royals were assassinated, both your business and responsibilities increased significantly. Of course, you knew this would happen when you aided Vijay in their demise, just like you knew that the slums would erupt in violence sooner or later. Today's the day you've been readying yourself for since you joined the council. Your company is holding the line between the slums and the rest of Bhimra. While they await further orders, Vijay has called a special meeting of the council to discuss what should be done about the riots, if anything. So who am I? Combat veteran. Shyam has been in a few battles, even killed a few people. Shyam's charge is to keep the city defended. Shyam leads his own mercenary company. Right, good stuff. So, we're back in the palace, I see. Let's have a look at what we got. The assassin. You only actually saw his face a few times before he killed the king and queen. You know he did his job, and you know Vijay wants him dead now. Lakshmi. You didn't know Lakshmi before you joined the council, but you did know her husband right before he died of mysterious circumstances. She's responsible for ferreting out troublemakers on the farms. Rhea used to be an ambassador for the Naga Empire. Now her job is to alternate between begging the council to help the Naga population and threatening Bhimra with invasion. Vijay. Vijay is the reason you got the job of defending Bhimra. Vijay, his plan to kill the royal family, and your involvement is the reason you got the job of councillor. Ranveer. The councillor overseeing religion and the security of the slums. He's never seemed to like you much. Right, the council's called a meeting, which means I need to drop what I'm doing and get to the chambers. The council. Your job is to keep Bhimra from collapsing in on itself. Vijay oversees the council, and everyone else has a special area they're responsible for watching and failing. I read all that shit. Locations and history I apparently know fuck all about. Hi, JD. Well, slap my head and burn my ass out. The mercenary captain's actually wearing his sword today. I hope you kept it sharp because your men and mine are going to have a long day ahead of us if you want to get anywhere to be with Bhimra tomorrow. And I hope you're not going to use that gaggle of thugs you call your men to keep peace. Peace? Never crossed my mind. What good is peace to the slums? Beats a spear in your eye. You'll see what we've got in mind soon enough. Until then, keep your guard up. Hey look, it's the council. Hi, council. Why are you scribbling furiously? We've not even started yet. Hi, Rhea. Take your seat, chum. No. Hi, Ranveer. Councillor Vijay, sup? Lakshmi? Okay, I'll take my seat. And the mercenary captain finally arrives. Scribe, take note. All members are in attendance. Well, were you waiting on me? Thought this was an emergency. There's no other way to put this, so I'll just lay it out straight. The slums have erupted into riots with no identifiable pretext. Ranveer's man Jaydeep reports that these riots have been sporadic and that they began nearly simultaneously in different parts of the slums, and that they seem to have spread. Do we have a plan for containment? We do. JD's men are equal to the task of keeping order within the slums. Meanwhile, you and your men will stand the defensive line and make sure the riots don't spread into the city proper. I want my men in the field giving oversight, otherwise this doesn't work. That isn't necessary. In addition to being needed on the defensive line, your men just don't know the slums very well. My people don't want a group of frightened soldiers stumbling down blind alleys, jumping at shadows and skewering rowdy children. They want capable, experienced peacekeepers who care about the area and know the locals. Jaydeep's men will be more than enough to keep the peace. Huh. I wonder what your interest in managing chaos in the slums could be. What agenda could you have in mind? Yes, thank you, Shyam. I was afraid no one else was going to be pointing out the obvious and terrifying conflict of interest. Are we going to let the man who wants to purge the slums of Olnaga have free reign over the slum full of riots? This won't do at all. My men will be deployed into the slums to keep order. No, they won't. Your job is not to keep order in the slums, it is to keep the slums separated from the city, unless you're choosing to reinterpret your role on this council. It's your job to keep order in the farmers, but here you are telling me what to do. Enough! Now I don't know if you people realise it, but this city could go either way tonight. The slums do not matter. No offence to Ranveer or Rhea, but they don't. They could burn down tonight and Bhimra would remain intact, but we only need one noble family to get killed by a mob of wandering thugs for our entire state to dissolve out of fear and, frankly, well-deserved contempt. We will only have one chance at this. Good. I'll adjourn to my tent. Rhea? Anything on your mind? I'm out of here. I can't stand listening to your people any longer. Sham, if you want to talk city defense, feel free to stay. Everyone else has a task to accomplish. Okay. Sup, Vijay? Honestly, that could have gone better. Could it though? Probably not. Sham, I'm in no mood to debate anything, so I'm just going to say what I'm going to say, which is that the two of us didn't sacrifice our health and our principles for this city just to watch a pack of beggars tear it apart, did we? You know what you need to do. Go protect Bhimra, because right now, nobody else can. Sham, there's one actual reason I want to talk to you. The royal spy we turned assassin survived. Good. He didn't deserve you to betray him like that. He killed a king. Good enough reason to execute a person by any standard. The fact that I convinced him to do it shouldn't make a difference. That was a joke, Sham. A very tired, very strange joke. But I think we both know that we had to control the narrative of the king and queen's deaths very carefully, and you just can't do that with if the actual assassin is still around. I don't know where he's been, but he's here in the city now. My spies have confirmed it. This is bad, Sham. The people of the city have always wanted somebody to blame for the problems that were unavoidable, and right now, there just might be the potential for a loyalist backlash. We do not want that. We are no good to Bhimra if we're dead. I get what you're saying, but I don't like it. I don't have the time to sit here persuading you. Do what you feel you have to if you come across the man, I suppose. But remember that there's more than our lives at stake if things come to a coup. Bhimra can't survive another traumatic turnover of leadership. Yo, books. I'll take that. I'll take that. I'll take that. I'll take that. Hey look, books. I'll take that. I'll take that. I'll take that. I'll take that. Holy shit. Did you see all those books down there? I am going to fuck those. No, well, that's weird. This is not what I needed to deal with today. VJ should understand that there are crises beyond the slums. Look, don't bother me what's going on in your territory. I've got my problems, you've got yours. I'm going back. A messenger might come by a little later on my behalf. I don't have time to wait for him. I believe he'll have some things to request of you. She vanished! Fucking hell! She's a magician. Okay, books. I'll take that. I'll take that. What does it say actually? The bookshelves literally tower over you, weighed down by hundreds of volumes. In the time since the regicide, VJ has moved in an impressive collection. Some titles catch your eye. That, and that actually catch my eye. That, and that catch my eye. Come on. For fuck's sake, why is it so hard? That's what she said, huh? There seems to be something hidden behind the other volumes. A sheaf of paper is pressed up against the back of the shelf. It appears to be a draft of Pears and Pugilism. This one looks bizarre. Right. Should we do some fucking reading then, I suppose, guys? Huh? You excited? To war. Should check in with the Master Sergeant. People. Jadip. Ranveer's partner. He keeps the closest thing to peace in the slums, but is Ranvir's peace all over. Of pears and pugilism. He donned the red mask again. Today he would fight for his fare, today and every day, until his stomach filled or the alleys emptied. Advanced Grammar. This book is given to the Princess Asha, daughter of Bhimra. Phonology of Bhimra. The phonetic inventory of our language is shared with cultures in the north, such as the Naga Empire, but not peoples from the south and east. Auspicious signs. A creature of deceit and creature of man's better nature walked hand in hand to prevent the final closing of all things. Formulas of brewing. Medicine, such as those created in other places, cannot be easily found in Bhimra, which has no forum for philosophical collaboration. The Love Book. She ran to him with wild abandon, and as he saw her, he leapt from his horse and brought himself into her arms. The Journeys of the Pale Man. What follows being an account of this man who came from faraway places and treated our people as mere sidelines of his own natural legend. The world around us. The nature of all things is known to priests to be more complex and yet far more natural and simple than many intuitively sense. Standing by the ruins. They dwell upon the ruined structures of their former empires, those men of the south, and dare to condemn their own heritage. 3 orphans. The sky was gone, only grey remained. All artifice beneath had failed. But men, in their infinite tenacity, endured, to forge an empire from iron and rails and columns of light. The bandits. Though base and low men by birth, the land they were in was as cruel to those both high and low, and in usurping the ruler, the bandit offered a great service. Theories of Chaos Volume 2. Do not reject chaos. Chaos is a natural part of the world's energy. Using it productively is as important as maintaining harmony with oneself. Ah, more books. Do you know what, actually? I've got half the books again to go. Let's go talk to some people, and then after we've talked to some people, we'll... Meeting go well, sir? Let's just say it cheered me up a little. We've got the borders covered. I've made a survey of who's left on the defensive line. 10 squads reported in, with enough men to make 7 squads. The rest are looting or quit or just didn't show up today. We also have scouts bringing in reports on the slums perimeter and interior. Sooner or later we'll have to pull back some of the men to hear your more explicit instructions, sir. Any idea what those will be? To tell the truth, I'm planning on marching men into the slums. You are in command, sir. Well, before you send out the men, the council paymaster and Lakshmi's messenger both wanted to speak with you. They're around here somewhere. We also need to appoint a new sergeant now that Mahit deserted. Meet me by the gates to the encampment when you're ready and I'll assemble the men. Okay then. So, I don't know where the encampment is. Right, what have I got? Sham's map. A map of the city, the only part that matters to your job, the defensive line, is inked on. Armour, lightweight, flexible, mostly for show these days. Water flask, must for any kind of work. A soldier needs a water flask more than he needs a weapon. That's bullshit. He needs a water flask just as much as he needs a weapon. Old, but well conditioned and reliable. You don't get too attached to these. Cleaning rag, for every minute you spend using your gear, you spend 2 cleaning it. Gold ring, a good luck charm looted in Sham's early days. Also, jewellery is universal currency that you can wear. Knife, always have a contingency plan. Comb, the secret to a proud, bristling moustache. You often say that you can't win a war with tangled hair. Well, you wouldn't want to. Hank of bread, you're not hungry. Nice. Medicine, you're getting old, no taking chances out there. And 80 monies! Oh yeah, it was the fucking books, wasn't it? The Rose Mysterious. She had to face the idea that her mother's secrets would be terrible to contemplate, and yet she could not help but pursue them. Hinterland. And so he travelled into another land of different kings and queens and ways of life, and he was terrified at how many things he saw. Curtains fall. So what could have caused the caravan of Bhimra's textiles to disappear? The Naga Empire was suspected naturally, as they were just coming into their own as traders. Herbs and advancement. It would be a fool who would turn base things to gold, when a drop of commoner stuff can reduce vital things to the unliving. Yeah, I've got a point. The Beast Invisible. And that invisible thing that struck men down had no name, but the ones travellers whispered to themselves, and no cure. The Scribe and Princess. He was most embarrassed by his humble clothes, his humble trade, his humble birth. the lost family. The people lost become icons of themselves. The reasons to love are remembered, and the reasons to hate fade away. Right, north, south, east, west, not north, we've been that way. Let's go this way. That's an arm, that's a kidney. What the fuck are you talking about, you fucking weirdo? Right, where are we going? We'll probably go this way. Let's see. Is anything this way? Yeah, boy. Oh, Ranveer. Hi, Ranveer. Sup? I'll skip the formalities, because right now, we are the busiest men in the city. Priests from all over the slums say that things are boiling over. They can't agree on why. My best guess is enemy instigators. Either way, I doubt very much that the city guard will prove useful. Between your mercenaries and my people's army, I'd say this crisis is ours to deal with. Please give me your thoughts. I'm onto you, Ranveer. I know you're going to use that hatred out there against the Naga, unless I stop you. I was afraid of this. Sham, can we agree before we begin this argument that you are not a slum dweller? That you don't understand what it's like to be a slum dweller? What? And you do? You've never lived out there either. Everyone from the royals to Vijay has insisted the slums aren't a part of the city in one breath and decided who gets to live in them in the next. If you're not going to take care of your people or even acknowledge them, what right do you have to rule them? I have done what no other man has done. I have listened to them. That is why they have chosen me as their voice. That is why tonight I'm going to use the right to drive the Naga out of the slums. Are you really telling me you did nothing to stoke that hatred? I was told you taught them to hate the Naga. I imagine you were. Nobody ever asked a slum dweller what they thought, not until I received my vision of Banka Mundi and went out to speak with them. I learned then of their hatred for the Naga, and it was only when I gave them a voice, organised them, that the city proper bothered to pay attention. And even then they only listened when I used that voice to shout. I don't care if everyone out there agrees with you. Nobody, anywhere, has the right to kill people they don't like. Your job in this city is using violence to keep the people you don't want in Bhimra out of Bhimra. Death or exile are not pretty things, Sham, but when assertiveness fails, they must be a tool to back them up. We've told the Naga we want them to leave. They won't. What would you do any different in my place? You're insane. You really do believe all this. When a man calls me insane, I know only that he hasn't seen what I've seen. And to be fair, few have. Does this mean you will not let me do what I must? I will stop you no matter what it costs me. I promise you that. Then you're going to have a fight on your hands. I've already given Jadip his final orders, and where he has gone I couldn't follow if I wanted to. I have no doubt there will be a reckoning when the dust cleared, and I have considerable doubt that I will survive it. But I have faith yet that the slums will be healed tonight. I hope you reconsider, for the slums, for your men, and for Bhimra. I hope you reconsider. No, I've spent this whole playthrough pretty much talking about how I like the Naga. Hey, Lakshmi's messenger, found you. Councillor Shyam, my mistress Lakshmi wanted me to speak with you. She requires your assistance on a few matters. If you're willing to cooperate with her, she'll ensure some extra considerations find their way to your men. Giving the tight council budget and the rising cost of food could be a bit of a morale boost for them, couldn't it? Write this down. Too bad. Then sign it for me. Very well, sir. Best of luck to you. Payroll master. I've got the budgets Vijay has prepared. He would have brought them to you personally, but he wanted me to double-check the coffers before bringing this to your attention. Are you ready to discuss your men's payment? I am listening. Yes, well, there's no good way to say this. The budget is tight. Trade with the Naga Empire has suffered badly, and lately nobles have been demanding funds to raise and maintain their own fighting men as defensive measures. We won't be able to pay your men their usual salary. We'll pay them enough to feed themselves and their families, but that's all I can promise. That's not acceptable. My men are risking their lives for this city. Look at this from our perspective. If the nobles smell trouble, they'll overthrow the city a lot faster than a bunch of starving cripples ever could. We need to guarantee them protection. Now, if you can guarantee me that most of your men will be committed to the defensive line... These are my men, not VJ's. I won't bow to his demands. We all have to make ugly decisions to save the city. This was one of VJ's. Now you can march your men pointlessly into the slums, leave the nobles to defend themselves with home-trained troops, and leave your men miserable and underfunded, or you can cooperate and make the most efficient use of all of our resources. Which is it? It's not me they'll blame if they don't get their full pay. I think we're done here. Tell your men to expect their salary reduced after tonight. Hopefully it will still give them something to look forward to, yes? Oh, I'm a proud mofo! That means nobody tells Sham or his company what to do. Yeah! Nobody puts baby in the corner. Oh my god, I just quoted Dirty Dancing. Oh my god, I know what film that quote comes from. I've been found out. It's a depressing turn of events, isn't it? When you realise that Dirty Dancing is something you have actually watched. Right, what the fuck is going on here? What's this Naga corpse doing here? We went into one of the homes checking on the perimeter squads and saw this Naga bastard go for a weapon. You should have seen us, sir. We brought him down with the poles, just like in the training. And kept the body. I assume there's a reason for that. Yeah, some of us were thinking, well, sir, we hear where you can sell a liver for a bit of cash to some of these folk. Probably a bad idea. The Naga might get you back for it. Nah, we'll take our chances. It all went down quick and quiet anyway. Fair enough. Fucking hell. Yeah, he's dead now, there's no point. Don't look at me, sir. I didn't decide to let these people inside. Apparently somebody let them through the defensive line once things started getting out of hand. You can't just let anyone wander into your camp during riots. They could be spies or killers. Get them out of here. Glad to hear it, sir. I'll have them taken back over the line. Come on, you heard him. Get it moving. Got a very good point. I mean, they could have been anybody. A fucking anybody. Don't really know why I said it like that. Anybody. They could be anybody. Rajesh. Sup, my man? I spent enough time on a squad. Right now, I'm the most qualified candidate for sergeant you have. Tell me why. Partially it's because I'm smarter than the other candidates. Mostly it's because I'm more careful. Mahid wasn't a bad person and the men liked him, but I never once saw him burden himself with a decision for longer than a few seconds. Same goes for my comrades. I can be decisive without being reckless, and that, above all else, is what you really need. I'll think about it and get back to you, of course. Sir, I'm exactly what the city needs, I promise you. Make me your sergeant, I'll protect the city better than ever man could. Come on, settle down. Let me ask you some questions. Absolutely. What's a soldier's first duty? To serve his people. Soldiers are no different from priests, nobles, merchants, craftsmen, farmers. Their job is to keep Bhimra whole and healthy. If you were a councillor, what would you do about the slums? I'd institute strict food rations affecting the merchants, craftsmen and nobility. I think we'd have a lot more food to go around if we divert Bhimra's products a little. That will keep the slums happy until the monsoons come and we can figure out a more permanent solution. What's the worst mistake you've ever made? When I was a teenager, I threw a rock at a Naga child. I don't even remember why. I remember the sound he made and how much blood there was, and I remember him wailing about his eye. His parents, I think they were his father, arrived a second later and looked right at me. I was so scared I couldn't move, and so were they. You see, this happened on a human street. I think about that kid nearly every day. The Naga couldn't get away with thrashing me the way I know he wanted to. Sometimes, I wish I could go back and do it for him. Here's one Ranveer taught me. If you could fix this city by killing me, would you? No, sir. I couldn't do that. Why should I make you sergeant? I've been out on the defensive line many times, sir, and I've heard the men talk. They're all very loyal, but as a whole, they lack empathy. They need a commanding officer who shows them the right thing to do, whether they like it or not, and I'm that man. I think I know enough. Yeah, fuck it. Thank you, sir. You won't regret this. Yeah, fuck it. You can be my commanding officer. Hey! Sham, nice to see a familiar face. Maybe not so much yours. Is that... Sir, the men are saying he's the one who... leave us. Let us speak. Let me speak with him. No offense, but I kind of hoped I'd never see you again, especially since VJ ordered his men to kill me right after I... you know. I'll be honest, there's a lot about that day I don't understand. Yeah, probably VJ was the only man with all the answers, and we knew that, and we killed a group of innocent people, because he said it would make Bhimra better. You know, I don't know about you, but I'd like to go to my death knowing a little bit more about the worst thing I've ever done. Let's trade. I'll ask a question, you ask a question. Alright, your go. Right. Who else knew? Did Ranveer? Laxmi? I don't know about Ranveer, but Laxmi did, and she either knew or figured out that JD would try to kill me afterwards. Her men grabbed me right after the assassination. She's been having me rat out traitors on her farms. Believe me, it hasn't been fun. So, why did you let it happen? What did VJ tell you? That the assassination would pacify the slums long enough for the monsoons to come back, which they didn't. Yeah, I guess not a bad idea in principle. And look how well it turned out. Your turn. Why did VJ pick you? Why not anyone else? Well, thanks to him, I was the court spy. It meant I was close enough to attack them on the day. But just in case things went wrong, he had deniability. That's my guess anyway. Perhaps he didn't want to get his hands dirty. Do you regret, you know, that you were part of it? That we killed them? Yeah, I don't like the people who have taken control since. That's fair. Some days I feel the exact same way, then other days I don't know. Your turn. When did VJ start planning the assassination? He only told me the day before. I don't even know. He didn't give me much notice either. I worked for him for a while and he sprang on me at the last minute. I guess the idea was if he didn't tell his allies, they wouldn't have time to panic or betray him or second guess things. But he definitely wanted us involved, I know that much. It meant we were complicit. It meant we'd stay loyal. Here's a nasty question. Do you think we're going to make it out of this? Bhimra, I mean. Plenty won't, but the city will keep standing. Best we can ask for. Yeah, your turn. What are you doing here? Honestly, what really keeps me up at night is worrying that I killed a king and queen for no good reason. That the peace we'd won was temporary and Bhimra would collapse anyway. I guess when I heard the riots were spreading I had to see for myself. So, what's your goal been lately? Just to keep this place from falling apart, that's all. Your turn. What was your incentive? Was he paying you? I was paid, but honestly, I just wanted the riots to stop. VJ made me believe that I, and only I, could restore some peace to the city. Wouldn't you bend your moral standards a little? Apparently. If you could wish death on one person right now, who would it be? I'd say VJ. Him, huh? He's dangerous, but you have to admit he's good at this. We need more people who are good at this. That's all I wanted to know. Of course! All of this is ultimately pointless. We're only ever going to have a couple of different perspectives on the whole mess, and you really have to understand every side of it to fix it. That's why VJ was always going to end up ruling this place. VJ runs nothing. Laxmi controls the farms, Ranveer controls the slums, I control the muscle. And all of you are on the council because you run these things just the way VJ likes it. Laxmi's a stern taskmistress, so he gives her the farms to police. Ranveer keeps the slums peaceful right up until he stabs them straight down the Naga's throats, which is exactly what VJ wants to happen. Ria's a coward and a pacifist and unwilling to start a war with Bhimra. And you? Honestly, I don't know about you, and I'm pretty sure that if you start causing trouble, VJ will find a way to give you the boot. He could try. Let's get to the point. You have a lot of priorities right now. In nobody's estimation am I one of them. I'm harmless. I performed enough assassinations for one lifetime, and I frankly approve of VJ being in power, even though he tried to have me killed. So please just let me go so I can get out of the city for good. Yeah, fuck it, I'm gonna kill you. All of this might be true, but it's a risk. We can't take risks right now. Kill him. You backstabbing